Senator. I've got a couple of questions, then we'll go over here. Mr. White, foreign military sales are always an issue. Obviously, the system is somewhat cumbersome, probably by necessity because of the shared responsibility of the first branch of government and the second branch of government. And the way it works, coming out after Congress appropriates the funds, and then obviously the administration, you guys make a decision. I guess it's Defense probably makes a decision. White House makes, national security makes a decision. Then you guys get a shot at it. Then it comes to us, myself, Senator Shaheen, and our counterparts on the other side. We, at least speaking from my own operation, we see these lots of them all the time, every day. And I've got a system of going through them that I think is pretty good. But having said that, man, we get a lot of complaints about foot dragging and what have you. And so I'm in my system. If it is anything short of run of the mill, and there's any kind of a review that's necessary, it comes to the top of the pile to me, and I deal with it within 24 hours. For whatever reason, before it gets to us, the first branch of government doesn't seem to have the same sense of urgency. First of all, I'd urge you to take a look at that and see what you can do with it. And then secondly, your thoughts.
Thank you for that question, Chairman. You rightfully point out that our allies and partners for many years now have rightly criticized the delays within our system. It is a testament to President Trump and Secretary Rubio for embarking on a truly historic reform effort along these lines. There have been no less than 5 executive orders really targeted to these defense trade reform issues. I'd like to highlight a few. Back right at the beginning of President Trump's second term, he put out an executive order on reforming defense sales for speed and accountability. And on the same day, also put out another executive order on reforming our acquisition process. And then in January of this year, he put out another executive order on protecting the U.S. warfighter in defense contracting. And then most lately, he's put out an executive order on establishing an America First arms transfer strategy. When you look at all of those together, you're seeing really for the first time a president that right out the gate of his administration is tackling all legs of our defense trade. That includes, as you rightly point out, the approvals process, which is too slow and where most reform efforts are focused. But the president is really looking at those parts of our defense trade that take years, not necessarily weeks or months. I mean, you rightly point out shaving off 24 hours is huge, but when we look at a lot of our acquisition system and then industry's ability to deliver, to see the president tackle those issues as well is really where we're going to see a lot of a lot of change, where we're actually delivering to allies and partner in a timely manner. You're absolutely right. We do need to focus on kind of that front end, the approvals process. But as I've told some of your staff, it is not Congress that's the problem here, really, and it is oftentimes not even the U.S. government more broadly and our kind of slow approvals process. It really is those other parts. It's the acquisition and contracting, and then industry's ability to deliver. President Trump absolutely has acknowledged that there's room and room for improvement here, and it's not going to happen overnight. But he really is turning the ship around.
Well, I first of all concur with that. The ship has been turned around to a degree. But again, it is one of the things we get complaints on, and we try to move our end as quickly as possible, even on a bipartisan basis, to get those done. So we urge you to continue to focus on those. Mr. Griffith, I think one of the most important things that you're going to do is keeping an eye on the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency. I visited that agency some years back, and I was aghast. I wasn't there very long, but I'll tell you, it didn't take me long to figure out those guys had no idea what they were doing and how disorganized they were, and carrying out a function that is incredibly important to the world. Under the new leadership they have, it is very different than that. But having said that, I want to stress to you that you need to keep one eye on that agency awake and looking at them at all times, because I'm telling you, what they do there is incredibly important. Obviously, a lot of it has to do with Iran and has for recent decades, but it isn't just Iran. Now it's with the other things that are going on with China and other people that test that shouldn't be testing. So I don't know how familiar you are with the agency or what they do or don't do, but your thoughts on that.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I appreciate your that information, and I am familiar with the agency. I was at the Department of Energy in the first Trump administration, the White House National Security Council, and other senior roles. I agree. There's a lot of work to be done. I'm a worker. I like to really get engaged with the very talented career civil service officers and foreign service officers, the technical experts and nuclear scientists, to make sure that we're carrying out the mission of the IAEA and U.S. Advancing U.S. interests, and ensuring that they are doing their job and making the world more safe from non-proliferation risk, but also advancing the peaceful use of energy as well. So, should I be confirmed, you have my commitment to work with you in this committee and doing that.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'll tell you how I did it. I might suggest you do it. I walked in there and said, "What do you guys do here?" And I let them have at it. And I'll tell you what, it didn't take long to figure out they had a mission. There's no question about it, but they had no handle on executing that mission. So I'd get over there and dig into it. Although I will tell you this, I'm very satisfied with the guys that are running it now. That could change, as you know, in the immediate future. So keep at it. Senator Van Hollen.